Coming up, an incredible new Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway knife. Unboxing the new Jack Wolf knife, which is very different. And my blades from Blade Show, plus the new Fisher blades, Beckwith FS. It's a full week. I'm Bob DeMarco. This is the Knife Junkie Podcast.
Welcome to the Knife Junkie Podcast, your weekly dose of knife news and information about knives and knife collecting. Here's your host, Bob the Knife Junkie DeMarco.
Welcome back to the show. A couple of my favorite comments from this past week were from the Roger Pearson Savage Creature Defense interview. And there were a lot of comments on that podcast, and they fell into two camps. And so I chose two of the shortest ones that represent what those two camps are. First, from Berghaus MTE says, Roger has come a long way in a short time as a maker. So a lot of people were saying the same thing. He's only been making knives for that long. These are incredible. And then the second school, Mike Link Music, he hangs out with us a lot on Thursday Night Knives. He says, drool-worthy blades. Excellent video yet again. And a lot of people were thanking me for bringing on Roger Pearson. And I appreciate that because that's one of the things I like to do on this show is, I'm always trawling around looking for great new makers or new to me, and hope that you're going to like them too. Now, in this case, Roger and Savage Creature Defense was recommended by one of you viewers. Actually, I think you left a comment in that video. So thanks a lot. I really love all the love for the show, but also makes me feel proud when people really like the guests that come on, because a lot of great people have been on this show. So thanks one and all. All right. Got a lot in this show. Let's now get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
First up in my pocket today, playing first fiddle, was the Pinkerton Knives Ferrule. Now, this is a prototype, and I hung out a lot with Dirk Pinkerton this past weekend at Blade Show. He's such a great guy and obviously an incredible designer. And he had just sent this to me the week before Blade and hadn't had a chance to carry it that much. So today, I just arrived home as I record this today and popped this in my pocket, and I've been loving it. I love this thing. It is small. It's perfect fit in the hand. And that ferrule blade is just absolutely wicked. Looks a lot like a cat's claw to me, and behaves like one. You've got a fluted titanium feather pattern in the frame lock frame here. You've got that nice clip, and of course the thumb disc. Now, this is a prototype. Like I said, when it comes out for real, he's going to have the thumb disc and a pocket catch opener, which he likes to do. Dirk likes to include both in his defensive designs. All right, next up in my pocket, dangling in my pocket, was the Victorinox Compact. You don't need me to talk much about this. I've been talking about this one a lot. I carry this one all the time. It does have the main blade and then this tool, which doubles as a cap lifter and a can opener. It's also got the scissors and such, but I usually carry it a lot for this right here. That's the screwdriver for my glasses. Okay, next up, I carried this on the airplane both ways to Blade and carried this around when I didn't have a knife, and that is the Regiment Blades tactical pen. This thing is really, really stout and sturdy. You've got a glass breaker on the tip. You unscrew it, flip it around, and then you've got a Fisher Space Pen ink cartridge there. So a great pen and a great defensive tool. And it's just a pen with a ring on it. So easily made it through security, and not like it should. And I'm not saying I got one over on them, but if you're concerned, some tactical pens look real tactical. This one just has a ring. So it looks like a novelty. I went through just fine. My fixed blade today was the Fisher Beckwith Covert. Hung out a little bit, said hi to Chaz and John Fisher, the brothers Fisher, if you will, the guys responsible for this. And it was great to see them. They gave me an awesome baseball hat also. And so I had this in the pocket today. because I just got the Fisher FS. We're going to take a look at that, the full-sized one, and I've been hot on this design lately. So carrying that around. That's also a great around the house knife, pajama knife, whatever you want to call it. I tend to walk around a lot in basketball shorts, not like I play basketball, but you know what I mean, light workout shorts. And this whole package fits in the pocket perfectly. So you have a great and capable knife for anything you need on you at all times. And it's light, it's not going to bang around. Last up for emotional support today, I've been carrying this around a bit. I saw APOC Survival. I saw Andrew Demko and the like at Blade Show. And so this, I don't know, I just felt like carrying it around today. Haven't done much with it, but I did clean it up because I still had schmutz on it from the last time I was out attacking the vines in the backyard. This is the APOC Survival Demko Bowie. They're doing such cool stuff over there, as the Demko brothers and Demko Knives are doing very cool stuff here in the States. I think they have some announcements to make soon, and that's always exciting when announcements come from the likes of the Demko brothers. All right, that's what I had in my pocket today. Let me know what you were carrying. Do you have a tactical pen? Do you have need for one? You might think you don't, but believe me, you do. And let me know what you were carrying. Drop it down below. All right, June, we're in the thick of it now. And so I just got the new June knife to give away to one lucky Gentleman Junkie. If you're unfamiliar with the Gentleman Junkie, what that is, that's our high tier of support at Patreon. And every month we do a special knife giveaway for a Gentleman Junkie. One unlike the regular all access giveaway. This one comes to me from Northern Knives and Colorful Filth. That's here it is. Here it is. The same creative team that brought you another giveaway knife, a Demko 80 20.5 about a year ago. Well, they have a new one. And, well, here it is. So this is attack helicopter themed. So here you have the pilot on one side, beautifully anodized on there. Just really gorgeous work done here. And then on the back, you have an Apache attack helicopter. I love Apaches. They're so cool. And just tearing stuff up. Oh, and there's a UFO. I didn't notice that UFO, but beautifully done stuff here. And then, of course, you have a space-themed blade. And by the way, this bailout is such a cool knife. I can't really do it with my left hand, but this bailout is awesome. And it looks like the contours of the handle may have changed. I don't know. Are you a bailout lover? I'm not sure. I feel like they've changed just from looking at it, but in any case, super comfortable in hand. They did not put the clip on there. Of course, it ships with the clip, but you don't want to ruin that beautiful, colorful filth anodizing job here. So there it is, a gorgeous knife. We're going to be giving this one away, and I'm very, very, very proud to have this in my possession for a short period of time and then to pass it along to you. A very generous gift from Mike Wharton of Northern Knives, and and of course, Paul Munko. I'm sorry, I keep saying Colorful Filth, but Paul Munko, famed knife designer, he's Colorful Filth. That's his graphic design company, and he's done 3. I think this is the 3rd anodizing collaboration project with Mike Wharton of Northern Knives up there in Anchorage, Alaska. And they do a lot of really cool stuff. And I know Paul Munko is very inspired by sci-fi and those cool sort of illustrations from those kind of books. So you have that in that package. So basically what I'm saying is become a patron, become a Gentleman Junkie patron at the highest tier of support, and you stand to gain this next month, or not this month, on June 19th of Thursday Night Knives, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. I'll tell you about Patreon in a minute, but before I do, I want to do an unboxing because I came home from a Blade Show and saw this package here. Now, this is a package that my good buddy Ben Belkin, he's such a great dude, sent me, and it was great to see him. Always awesome to see him at Blade Show. I gotta cover up my address. Forgot to do that. So I saw what this knife is, and lo and behold, he said, when you get home, there will be one waiting for you. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it like that, and that's the long side. I'm going to take this Swiss Army knife compact, cut this, and open it like so. Or as Emeril Lagasse used to say, like such. Okay, it's out of the box, and I didn't show my address. So here we go. There it is, the usual box. And now I'm going to use the compact to open the lid. Okay, let's see. Now this is a brand new design called the Tango. And this is from JW Collab, collaboration for the future. And you can see there's the dog and the Jack Wolf gripping hands like out of Predator. You know, that famous scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger and what's his name? Dang, can't remember his name now. They grasp hands and flex muscles. Here we go. There it is. Perfect. Okay, so collaborations. He's going out on a collaboration stint, and that's what JW Collab is. It's sort of a sub company within the company, and this first one is called the Tango, and look at that. That is a modern folder. That is a modern locking folder, and it's with Cerberus Knives. So Cerberus Knives, the gentleman who owns and runs Cerberus Knives, is an old friend of, a friend. I'm not sure if they're old friends, but a friend with Ben Belkin. They decided to collaborate on a knife, and Cerberus Knives are more modern. And so this is his design gone through Ben Belkin. You know, they did a little back and forth, but mostly this is a Cerberus concept here. And that's what these collaborations are going to be. He's going to be going through a lot of different designers and knife makers to produce a special Jack Wolf knife. This one, I have to say, I'm totally thrilled to have in this iteration. It also comes with blue kieranite and a really cool carbon fiber, two really cool carbon fibers, kieranite, and this gorgeous blasted titanium with that sunburst pattern bursting from the pivot. Oh, this is the first time I'm seeing this one, obviously, as you saw me unbox it, but I played with them a little bit at the Jack Wolf Knives table. And if you saw the Sunday show, we did a quick interview with him, and he talked about this line, the JW Collab line, and then also he talked a lot about the slip joints within reach. So now he's making slip joints that are a bit more affordable. And so we are all very excited about that. Those come in at about $70, and man alive, do they have amazing fit and finish. And of course, they're beautiful designs. His first one is a Barlow. So very happy for Ben. What a great businessman Ben is. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to give the people what they want. And I'm really happy to see him succeeding. I'm also really happy to have this Tango in my hand. So a lot of special knives here. If you want to win a very special knife like this one I was just showing, the collaboration between Colorful Filth, that's Paul Munko, and Northern Knives of Anchorage, Alaska, and you want that bailout with the really cool anodizing pattern in it, go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon or scan the QR code right here on your screen because we offer you interview extras, stickers, and other fun stuff. And you get to enter into this drawing every month on the third Thursday of the month on Thursday Night Knives to win a very special knife. In this case, it's ultra special. So I probably shouldn't even have my wedding ring on while I'm touching this because I don't want to mar the anodization. I know it's not that touchy, but I don't want to ruin it for you. So be sure to go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon and check us out. You stand to gain quite a bit. TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon.
The Shockwave Tactical Torch is your ultimate self-defense companion, featuring a powerful LED bulb that lasts 100,000 hours, a super sharp, crenulated bezel, and a built-in stun gun delivering 4.5 million volts. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose the Shockwave Tactical Torch. TheKnifeJunkie.com/Shockwave.
Because I have a lot of knives to go through on this episode, we're skipping Knife Life News. Also, some of those knives that I would have been talking about are in this list that's coming up anyway. So, and first up, I got this right before I left for Blade Show. So this came in on Thursday. If you were with me last week's Thursday Night Knives, you saw this. This is the new Beckwith from Fisher Blades. This is the Beckwith FX FS. I'm sorry. And you say, what does FS stand for? Well, full size. This is the full size version of the Covert. Very, very similar, if not, I mean, it's almost exactly the same, but just blown up a little bit. You've got this incredible 4 1/4 inch blade, whereas the original, the Covert, is 3 1/4. This is an everyday carry, everyday defense carry blade. Goes in your pocket. This one is a little bit more combative. This is a little bit more for the quiet professional. This will fit on your rig here. These are molly loops. It also comes with a DCC clip, and it comes with another clip option and a lanyard and all sorts of cool stuff. The lanyard, of course, is for the sheath because this blade has no lanyard hole. But you have all of the same design features of the Covert, meaning that incredible thumb ramp here up front here that's inspired by the Delica, and then this arched handle here. The spine of the arched handle pushes, and in concert with that thumb ramp, pushes the point and the sub point, secondary tanto point, and the edge down, which really give you an accelerated cutting performance and also a midline point for outstanding thrusting. Now, we all know that Americanized tantos like this are incredible thrusters, but when you take that straight edge and you angle it downward and it terminates in this secondary tanto tip, you get incredible deep cuts and deep penetration with it too on the thrust. Nice quillion here as a finger guard to oppose the thumb ramp, and then back here on the pommel, again, just like on the Covert, you have this quillion for extracting the knife and then also giving you a great place to bear down with your thumb if you're using this to stab through that proverbial 55-gallon oil drum full of Uzis. That'll do it for you right there. This one, these are numbered. They made 100 of them, and this is 86 out of 100. 86. That was a fine year. I believe I was a freshman or sophomore in high school, something like that. I'm never very good at math, so who knows? Who knows where I was? But I was definitely there. Great sheath, which allows you to screw down on this retention area here, similar to this. The Covert sheath also has an area where you can tighten it right around that guard quillion, finger guard, and it allows for different types of retention. If you want it really stout, say you're doing your halo jumps or something like that, you could really lock it in there basically. But for normal use, you're going to unscrew it a little bit and have it nice and loose so you can extract it from the handle. Great knife. No matter what grip, of course, I love this grip, the TKell grip. You get that great quillion up here keeping you in line. So Fisher Blades FS. These are available now. I checked in with the Fisher brothers and saw their new dagger that's coming out. I think it's August or end of summer 2025. I think that's when that's coming out. Cool little dagger. What can I say? It was really fun to play with and check out. And they're great guys. It was just nice to see them, nice to check in, and also to see the unicorn editions of that Beckwith Covert. All right. Now let's get to this list of my blades from Blade Show. Some of these blades are not mine. A couple of them are gifts. A couple of them are being given away, but I'm going to show them anyway. But first, let's start with this. This is the PD-1 from, oh my God, gosh, give me a break. TKell Knives. This is the PD-1. Now, this is a brand new knife that they came out with. When was it? It was after Christmas or right around Christmas time, maybe. But it's a very small little 3-finger or 2-finger knife that was made in honor of Tim Kell's father-in-law. And it's also based on a very, very, very early knife, maybe the first knife Tim ever made, and that he gave to his father-in-law. So now that he's arrived and he's reached a great state of knife making prowess, he unearthed this and took it out of mothballs, made it again, improved it. And I saw a touching video of him presenting this to his father-in-law, who was quite happy about that. This is a special edition, though. You're not seeing the scales like you normally do on a TKell knife. You see this beautiful jute wrap, and that was done by Tom Nugent of Knives by Nuge, and so there is his maker's mark. So this knife, for me, I love it. It's a twofer. Two great dudes who have awesome knife companies whose work I love coming together and doing a collaboration. I knew I had to get this knife, and I was excited that I scored one. They only made 20 of them, and I was surprised. There were, I don't know, 7 of them by the time I got to his table on Saturday. I missed the first day of Blade Show. So I was really psyched that I was able to nab this. And this beautiful sheath is by Badger Claw Outfitters. They do great leather work. This is my first sheath by them, but I've seen others like Tom Nugent use them for their knives. So really happy to have this. You can take a standard DCC clip, but I like to just drop this in my pocket. It's one of those small enough knives. You just drop it in the pocket. You need it, you pull it out, use it, drop it back in. But one thing's for damn sure, I'm going to make use of that lanyard hole, small as this knife is. But I need to get some leather cordage. Next up, from Brent Smith and Bald Man Knife and Tool, I got his very newest model, and I am so psyched about it. Before I even draw you and dazzle you with the cool blade, check out that awesome handle. This is toasted linen micarta. It's like a blonde linen micarta, but he does this special heating process that toasts it, is what he calls it, and I think it just looks so cool. And it really matches that blade. I love this blade. This is the Sicario, like an enforcer, Sicario. And it's got that beautiful downward angled, deeply recurved blade with a big belly. It's like a bolo to me, and that's why I had to go for this handle. He had a lot of great handle materials and beautiful treatment of the handles, but this one to me really matches that blade. It looks to me like a Filipino knife. Yeah, I know Sicario's Mexican, but to me, this is, I don't know, it reminds me of the knives on the wall behind me. Really, really profound cutter with that deep curve and that recurve and that downward angled blade, but a midline point so you can still thrust, know where it's going. This is decidedly more combative than his other work, and I love it. It suits him well. That texturing is pretty interesting. If you missed the little interview I did with him on the Sunday show, he took a hammer and did some treatment to the hammer poles, the faces of the hammer poles, and made it so that when, I think he put welding stuff on it or something. I don't know. You can see how technical I get. But when the steel is hot, he can pound that pattern in using that hammer. And it's somewhat random, but also, you can see how that was done. And then the back, it's sort of flint knapped. So it's got that primitive look to it. I think this thing is awesome. I got to say, this is my favorite of the Bald Man Knife and Tool knives so far. I have the thicker clipper, Tonto, and we gave away the thicker clipper drop point here for Thursday Night Knives Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway. I think it was about a year ago at this point, or maybe a little less. It was after last year's Blade Show, I guess. So what an awesome knife. What an awesome dude. I really like Brent and the people who work with him and his friends. They're all very cool and generous. And as a matter of fact, when I was at their, this is ADCRV2, by the way, a steel that you're going to hear a lot of in this list. But when I was at their booth buying this knife and interviewing him, they offered me my first ever energy drink. Energy drink. To me, I'm old enough. Energy drink is coffee. That's my energy drink. But they gave me the one that my daughter likes, called Celsius, and it was vomitrocious. I got to say, the flavor was. Maybe I'm just too old, but I drank it and it gave me my caffeine burst, which is what I needed. So love those dudes, love those knives. All right, next up from another dude I love and whose knives are awesome is Dirk Pinkerton. You know, I have a collection of his fixed blades, handmade fixed blades, hand ground. And he's a very talented designer, and that's evidenced by all the major companies that sell his designs and pick up his designs. But he's also an exquisite, very talented man at the grinder. His knife grinding is incredible. And so I think this makes it 5 of his handmade knives. And this one, I was so taken by this at his table. He had a lot of cool stuff. One thing I thought I was going to get is very flashy and nasty looking, which I still have to get. I can't remember what he calls it, but it's this batwing Pikal. That's crazy. But I saw this one and I grabbed it jealously and said, hold this behind the table until I can get my wallet out, which, is a couple of seconds. But so this one, if you're just listening, it reminds me a lot of the blade on the Night Horse. So sort of a Spanish clip point. It's got a straight back with a long swedge and everything is sharp. It's got a double edge, really beautiful double edge. Perfect for concealment. It's nice and thin and light, and it's got a short handle. And I'm going to measure this blade right here. 4 3/4 inches in blade length, pretty slight. So it's just a perfectly compact knife. This is S30V blade steel. He usually marks his handmade knives on the spine. And look at that gorgeous handle material. Not sure what it is. It reminds me a little bit of G-Carta, but I have to get it under my little magnifying glass light and inspect it. It does look like something like G-Carta, but it doesn't feel like G-Carta. GL Hansen and Sons G-Carta. Really nice place to put your thumb. I don't miss the jimping. I mean, jimping is always welcome, but here it doesn't have it, and it feels really good. You get super solid purchase on this knife, and it's really awesome in reverse grip. The handle is short enough. There's not much to pry out of your hand if you're in a tussle, and not much to grab if someone sees it in your waistline. This one had no name. He didn't know what he called it. This is actually a little bit of old stock from him, he said. And I was like, what's it called? He didn't know, so I'm going to come up with a name. I just haven't yet. Maybe Gladys or Beatrice or Felicity Kendall. All right, next up, this one is from Brock Blades and Joe Watson. So just like the Knives by Nuge and TKell collaboration, this is another twofer. 2 guys I've interviewed whose knives I want, but they're not necessarily affordable knives. So it was great to get both in one. Joe Watson, unfortunately, was not at Blade Show, but Ken Brock was, and it was great to see him and his blades. And this is a Ken Brock rendition of the Magny XL from Joe Watson. So, this thing. This thing. I love this knife. This is like the Pinkerton I just had. It's small and slender, but long enough to be a menace. Not double-edged in this case, and you've got some file work for jimping on top. Beautiful recurved blade. That point is center line. Super comfortable handle. 3V blade steel, very thin. 3V blade steel, and a great sheath. So this thing, I cannot wait to get a DCC clip on this one and start carrying it. It is just so nice. And that thinness, I have to say, the thinness is very inviting. You just want to put this in the waistband. Ken Brock had a really cool setup. I knew I wanted to get something from him. I didn't go there thinking that, but as soon as I saw him and his table, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I want one of these, because I've been stalking him on Instagram for a long time and loving. He does some cool recurves. He does this really, his most popular knife is a Ski and Do, and I almost got that. And then I saw this one. It's like it presented itself to me. Bob, here I am. Check me out. This will take care of all of your collecting needs. This will knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. And look at this, great in reverse grip too. So this is the Brock blades and Joe Watson, incredibly sharp too. Magny XL, a Brock rendition of a Watson knife. Beautiful sheath too. You can get a full grip on it before it's even out of the sheath, which I love. I appreciate that. All right, next up, this was an unbelievable gift. I was going to Sharif Manganas's table to buy this knife and interview him, but to buy this knife. Ever since he was on the show, I fell in love with this knife, and he said I might have it by Blade Show. I heard that he had it, and so I went over there right after my first 2 stops, and saw him, talked with him, interviewed him, and then he gave me this out of the kindness of his heart. I cannot believe it. But this is his Aurelia. It is an absolutely stunning, you don't need me to tell you that, absolutely stunning clip point folder. It is a frame lock folder with fully contoured micarta. It just feels like a dream in hand. And oh my gosh, everything about this thing I love. This is made by Riot Knives, and they did an exquisite job on it. I mean, it's just such a nice knife. We all know that their knives are great, but you kind of forget until you get one in hand what a great job they do. Sharif Manganas is very inspired by American tactical knives. He's a huge fan of Emerson knives here, and he says that this area here, especially the way he does his his stop pin, is inspired by him, and the clip inspired by the Terzuola knives. Speaking of Terzuola, I was honored to have dinner with him and his wife, and I showed him this knife, and he pulled out his flashlight and scrutinized it and was pretty impressed. He did say, "That's my clip." But I was like, yeah, he was inspired by you. Yeah, just a great knife. I'm so happy to have this. This is going to be my I'm going to carry this thing all the time. This is going to go on my top shelf with my Chris Reeve knives and my Hinderers and my Microtechs and all my fancy American knives. That's where this is going to go. I really love this. M390 blades. No. Wait, is this M390? Magnacut. What am I talking about? Magnacut, and just a gorgeous stonewash, long clip point, center line point, which I love on a clip point blade, and a nice belly, but a really good usable long length of straight edge, and then a little lanyard hole, sorry, integrated into that back spacer. Great action, a little trench under the clip. This thing goes in and out of the pocket really nicely and stays in there great. Now, yeah, you can front flip this too. We do that with my left hand, like very easily. For me, I like to use my forefinger to front flip. So there you have it. The Sharif Manganas Aurelia, just a thing of beauty. And it's funny because I'm so deeply into my custom fixed blades, and especially the ones that I can carry on my person. But the past couple of years going to Blade, I've wanted to get a special fancy folder. This is what I planned on being my special fancy folder. And lo and behold, the man who designed it gave me one. I couldn't believe it. All right, next up, this was also a gift from the maker, and also extremely exciting and welcome. This is from Gunfighter Customs. I had Jared Franklin on the show over this past year. I think it was in the winter, and he ended up making this one for me because he was inspired by a video I did about the clinch pick, and this is their version of a clinch pick style knife. So you have that sort of egg-shaped handle that really disappears in the hand. similar to the Desperado, also the cold steel Desperado. But they wanted to design this with that TKell edge, but also a primary edge and a place to put your thumb. With the clinch pick, you have to grip it like a hammer. It's got to be a hammer grip like this, because if you put your thumb there, it's on an edge. So here they canted it down, giving you great swiping action if you're slashing. Look at that angle here, but also puts the point in a great place to thrust, whether you're using it forehand or in a back fist like this. So just a great all-around defensive blade. They gave this to me somewhat early on in the day on Saturday, and I carried this in my waistband all day long. They got the Misfits skull there with a helmet on. Love that. And beautiful mosaic pins. They had 2 of these on the table, and this is a popular model. I like that it's chisel ground too, so you get that flat back. That's the maker's mark of the gentleman who designed it, also a member of Gunfighter Customs. Awesome dude. And he actually comes to Thursday Night Knives a lot. So be sure to check out Thursday Night Knives, and you can talk with him. He's a Filipino practitioner, Kali and Pakiti Tersha, and so he gave me this right out of his backpack. This is his training version of this knife, and you know, it's hard for me to say no. I should be saying things like, no, I can't accept that. But if they said okay, then I'd be heartbroken. So the greedy little knife junkie me is like, oh, okay, thank you. I will be a worthy steward of this knife. This is also ADCR V2, the Gunfighter Customs Gunfighter. That's the name of that blade. Okay, next up, from another great guy. These are okay. Let me get this out of the way. These are all great guys. Every one of them. Even the guys I didn't know that I bought knives from, I talked with and chatted with, and they were all awesome too. So just a great community. But this is from Michael Jarvis and Auxiliary Manufacturing. I did an interview with him where he showed off some of the super exciting stuff he's got going on, like the production run of the Pocket Bowie, which is fantastic. And then the folding version of that, which was amazing, done by Miguron, who's also going to feature heavily a little later in this list for some of their OEM work. They do great stuff. But this is their mini spike, or technically spike mini, I think. A super stout and sturdy spike, comes to an unbelievable point. I dropped this a little, just ever so slightly, on my couch in my hotel room. It didn't put a hole in it. It had a pretty wide weave fabric, but it did breach it a little bit. Look at that tip. It's amazing. I bought this at first thinking of my wife, because she said she wanted a spike type thing for running, but I ended up getting her something better that you're going to see shortly, or not better, but something easier for her to carry when running. So I guess this one's mine. Oh well, too bad. No cutting edge on the side. This is all about the pokey, and a very, very comfortable handle with Michael's signature rock pattern in there. And I believe this is also ADCR V2. Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. ADCR V2 is a very tough carbon steel, and but I think it's got some stainless properties in it also. But it's incredibly popular. A lot of the knives, especially in this list, have it. Very comfortable in the front grip too, in the saber grip. All right. Next up, from Shane of Edgy American Blade. You guys know Shane. He's a great dude, and he comes on the Thursday Night Knives, and he oftentimes types in all caps. And I always joke that it looks like he's yelling. But he started making knives last year, and he's been knocking it out of the park. And this one he made from a design that I sent him, and he makes his own designs. And oh my gosh, I saw a bunch of them because I saw Shane at Blade Show, Shane Gables, and got a chance to hold his usual models. They are beautiful, refined, and gorgeous. And then this one he made for me out of crewware. Now, this is the second one he made because the first one he found an occlusion in the steel itself. And then he told me about how he traveled to Blade Show with this without an edge on it and totally destroyed a full-on brand new diamond sharpener, putting the edge, the very sharp edge, on this crewware. This is at 65 to 67, I think he said. So, I mean, just diamond hard. So really, really nice. And so I wanted something similar to the Yojimbo, just a sort of EDC nasty self-defense knife. And this is what he made. And there's his his logo, a little stripper logo there, like you see on the back of a truck. I love that. And then this is jute micarta. He said that the jute micarta was the second hardest thing he's ever ground, the first being this crewware. So the jute micarta, he said, was like really ridiculously difficult to grind. These are not pins. Those are pinholes that go all the way through to both sides, but he filled those with a colored epoxy. So yeah, really, really cool and innovative knife. He's calling this the Junkie, aptly named the Junkie. All of his knife models, one of them is the Thug. I don't remember what the other ones are. He's got 3 models, I believe, but they're all basically street tough names. And so Junkie fits perfectly for this design that I sent to him. So really happy and proud to have this. I count Shane as a friend, and it's nice to have something made by him. And I look forward to getting more in the future. All right, that's the edgy American Junkie. All right, this next one is the one, let's see. Yeah, this next one is the one I got for my wife to carry when she's running, because it hides in the hand. It has a place you could hit someone, a noggin knocker. But if you need it, you got a blade. Now, this is, I was not thinking of getting her this, but who was it? Someone told me that I had to go to Guardian Tactical. May have been Shane, but he was talking about how easy, how smooth the deployment is, how easy they are to open and close. And I can't do this with my Microtex. I mean, I can, but my wife couldn't. And having felt this, I knew I had to get this for her. Now, this one is a Blade Show exclusive. So you can see it on the blade there. Blade Show 2025, 73 of 120. LMAX steel. That's right, LMAX steel. She really likes the blade shape of this. Nice drop point, but she likes those ventilation holes. They seem extra menacing to her. And I just gave this to her not that long ago. She's like, "This is awesome." I'm like, "Okay, I got to take it. I got to take it back. Got to take it downstairs to show the junkies." But I'll be giving this back to her. And this clinches it. This is like the nicest out the front I have experienced. I love Microtex. I love Microtex. But I like this better than their out the fronts. It's definitely a greater user experience to me. I also, and we're just talking about the opening and closing. I haven't cut anything with this, but it's a nice hollow grind. Also, it's made in Pennsylvania, 100% made in the United States, in Pennsylvania, a state that I love and am, somewhat familiar with, having driven through it 8 billion times. And so that means a lot to me. And they have a beautiful big 4-inch dagger, and I'm going to get it. Got to get it. Got to get the Guardian Tactical. I've experienced the Axial recently. That was a nice knife, but I'm liking the Guardian personally. So easy, so smooth. I can do that all night. All right, next up, for my older daughter, my teenage daughter, who's like, "Yeah, you got me that cool little out the front dagger last year. I want a cool big out the front dagger this year." So I obliged her and got her this. This is a Cobra Tech. These are pretty nice too. These are a foreign made for certain. Very nice people at the Cobra Tech booth. That they are an American family, and I'm not sure if they design these or what the deal is, but these are pretty nice out the fronts. This is D2 blade steel. a sharp as the day is long, especially on the point, automatic out the front. I can't remember what the name is. My daughter loved that it has this skull crusher on the back / I guess you could break glass with it. I don't know. I'm really actually not sure if that's a glass breaker or just a persuader of some sort. Nice clip. And also this is easy for her to push out. She needs both thumbs to pull it back in right now, but I told her keep it up and your hands will get stronger. Just be careful with it. Just be careful. But yeah, no one's going to step to her when she's got this. Hopefully this is a nice self-defense sort of tool. For her, it's, you know, whenever she's home alone, you should see her room. She's got all of her knives out, and she doesn't have too many, but I've given her a number of them over the years, and they're all out, and I know that she's going to love this one. And I'm sure someday in the next couple of years, it'll end up in her purse and that kind of thing. All right. Next up, for my younger daughter, I got something from WK Forgeworks. WK Forgeworks, the gentleman was on Forged in Fire, and I just happened to be walking by and I saw the colors on his table, and that's what drew me in. And so this first one is definitely all my younger daughter. She's such a bright and cheery and lovely girl. She loves pink and Taylor Swift and Japanese stuff and knives. And so this is kind of the Taylor Swift doesn't fit in there, but this is like the perfect little knife for her. 52 100 blade steel. So this is made by a forger. I'm not sure if he forged these or if this is stock reduction. I didn't ask him. Should have. But beautiful colors. Look at that. And her favorite color, pink, right on top of black, and then on top of that Tiffany blue. Oh, wait, I'm looking closely. No, can't tell. All right, so acid etch. It's a little quaking. And like I mentioned, my daughter has a little thing for Japanese culture. I think it's from some of the shows she has watched, but that's sort of bled into her just kind of love for the Japanese culture. Get a little scratched up at the tip there, but oh well. Beautiful blade. This guy was really nice too, and his wife was cool. And it was nice to buy stuff from people that I don't know who happen to be super cool. And it was a nice experience. And then, of course, I love that. I love that tropical jungle G10. I'm sorry, not G10, but Kydex. So beautiful little knife for a beautiful little girl. Though this is like super easy for me to undo, and for her, it's so I'm telling her you got to grasp it behind. Make sure you can see through those two grommets on the sheath. You don't want to hold it up here and then cut yourself. So I'm impressing upon her how to push that and open it to have it in hand. Next one from the same maker, WK Forgeworks, is a knife for Jim. I got him this because he's a Carolina fan and he loves Carolina blue. And there's a lot of blue in this, and I think some of the shades in there are close. So I got this for him. I think this is Jim's first custom. I'm not sure, Jim, if this is your first custom or not, but a nice little cutter. It's a neck knife. This one is in AEBL, so I know that this one is where the other one is probably forged. This one I think is probably stock removed, as it's AEBL. But you can see a beautiful handle again here. You've got black liners with blue, and then that sort of Tiffany blue on top of that, or let's call it Carolina blue on top of that, and then white on the very top. So beautiful little blade, very sharp. I love how he ground the bevel in that sort of radial. Let's see if I can see it. That sort of radial fashion as he goes up to the tip. Reminds me a little bit of the other knives. Damn, I hate when that happens. All right. I'm going to stop trying to think of it because it's not going to come to me. Damn, sorry about that. It reminds me of another knife maker, and I really like it, how it follows up to the tip. Instead of going straight, even though the tip is going up, it just follows with it. All right. That was too long of a time suck for that concept. Next up, now these knives, I'm very grateful to have. These were given to me by DC Blades, and these guys are so awesome. You know, Tier 1 Gear Reviews. You know Justin from Tier 1. Well, it's Tier 1 and Old Squirrel Knives together, and they are the design team they are the team that is DC Blades. You've seen some of the knives I have here. The Scythe is an awesome one, and the Vendetta, also a TKell style knife. Well, this one is the Sting, and this thing is beautiful. I love this knife. It's so pretty to me. You got that compound ground upswept Persian blade. You've got a Emerson Wave style opener on it and a flipper, and then you've got a ergonomic setup that pops the thumb right up here, gives you an awesome thumb ramp. OEM'd by Miguron Knives, really beautifully done with that knurled texture, and then that gorgeous swirly carbon fiber. I'm going to put all of the DC knives out at once. Next one is called the Nameless. The Nameless. This one is also titanium, and I'm not sure where this one has M390 blade steel. I'm not sure what this has. It's not marked, but I'm pretty sure it's M390 because we discussed it. Really nice TKell style knife with double notching on the back, which serves as a sort of wave style. And then this is their new pivot logo. Cool new pivot that they designed just for their knives. They used to put their actual logo there. It's like a monster skull, but it's really complicated to do that small. So they wanted something that would read immediately without being too complex. And then on this one, you have this dark red carbon fiber, really nice ergonomics in any grip. But of course, it's optimized for reverse grip, being a TKell style knife. Next up, this is their kind of in their budget line, if you will. This is a less expensive knife, but no less impressive in design. This is the Glaurung. And I am a sucker for a recurve Americanized Tanto, and that's what they give you in spades right here. So nice. It's got that a midline point, but an upswept blade. You've got a big long portion up front, and then a recurved hollow here. So compound, thin, sharp, beautiful blade, and then this sort of chunky handle that just melts in the hand. They've got these finger grooves milled in here. And yeah, carbon fiber, silver carbon fiber twill. Doesn't sound like it would be up my alley, but this just grabbed my eye. And then you've got this thumb swale here. Very comfortable. Of course, this would be a great EDC knife. You can do all sorts of just everyday chores with it, but it's also pretty menacing and pretty self-defensy as well. Next up, this one is a ringed TKell. I'm not sure what this is being called, but by AM8, which is the Miguron high value label. So again, you see those double notches on the spine of the blade, which help open it on your pocket as you draw it out. You've got that tip down, edge in TKell style blade, frag pattern titanium, so nice. And then a really nice ambidextrous bar lock here. And of course, on a ring. So when you have a natural fist, it fits perfectly. And then of course, just to add insult to injury, there's a little point there just to drive the point home if you have to hit someone with this, or maybe try and take out a window. I don't know if that would. Last up from DC Blades, this is their exciting collaboration with Tops Knives. This is the Ephira or Ephira. I didn't ask him how you pronounce it, actually. Just an absolutely wicked looking knife. On my podcast on Sunday, the Sunday show, where I did a roundup of these knives and had all those interviews, I believe I mistakenly called this the Medusa, which would also be a cool name for this knife. But this is the Ephira or Ephira. And, you know, you look at this and naturally it just screams tactical knife in that design, with that hooking blade with the double edge, not double edge, but the two edges here meeting in the center. But this is also by Justin's estimation a great EDC knife. So you can do all sorts of stuff. We'll bring it up here. You can do all sorts of stuff where, you know, draw cuts and cutting like that. He's like, you cut vegetables, which is funny. Because I guess if you're camping and this is what you have, you could cut vegetables in it because it presents the blade at the right angle. But he had all these different uses for it. You know, you can carve, you can whittle wood with it. And of course, it's beautiful 1095 blade steel by Tops Knives. So it's a great combination. Tops just does such cool stuff, and they take chances. And you might look at this and think, wow, that's an unusual knife. But I have a feeling this is going to be extremely useful and fun to carry and fun to show off. I haven't carried this one yet. So those are the DC, that's the DC Blades lineup. And I'm very grateful to Justin for these knives. And Chris of Old Squirrel Knives. Boy, he's a talented knife maker in his own right. Justin is the dreamer, designer, and Chris is the maker, incredible knife maker, but also, you know, has a practical advice to lend to the designs. So they make a dream team. Very happy for them. All right, penultimate in this list. I got my hands on a very good knife company knife, the First Strike. And I was just rounding a corner at the in the baller room. That's the secondary smaller room in which is held in a ballroom of a blade show where a lot of cool stuff is. And I saw him and Very Good Knife Company. And him, who is him? I don't remember the gentleman's name, but we had a nice long conversation. I have his phone number and everything, but I don't have his name. So like an idiot, I'm gonna have to call him and be like, hey bro, hey man, until he tells me what his name is or until I say, what's your name? But I've been a huge fan of these from afar since Scab of Choir Boys Cutlery. Scott made videos about these knives, I don't think about this knife in particular, but maybe, but the Very Good Knife Company knives. And, you know, he puts knives he tests through their paces, and they did beautifully. And then I started watching Peterbilt Knife Guy, who also got his hands on some of these knives, and he he tests knives very hard. And these have come out with flying colors. A lot of great designs from Very Good Knife Company, but this one takes the cake for me. It's beautiful, classic sort of combat knife, combat clip point knife. I think this is about a 6-inch blade. Let's take a look. Yep, just about 6, a little hair short of 6 inches. This one is hollow ground, and he's the gentleman who makes these knives said that someone asked for a flat ground knife, and I think it was Peterbilt Knife Guy tested that knife, and then now everyone's been asking for flat ground. But originally they are hollow ground, so he makes them in both now. And this, when I tell you this is sharp, I mean, it's unbelievably sharp. This is 80 CRV2 First Strike. Beautiful handle. This handle is so comfortable. And the micarta, I asked him if he had another one available. He had one that was DLC black with a carbon fiber handle and a flat grind. And I wanted micarta and I wanted a hollow grind, but I didn't think I wanted the red. But now that I have it, I love it. I love it. And I can already see just from handling it and pawing it, it's starting to deepen and rich and become richer. So beautiful knife, awesome sheath with his little brand on there, VGKC. Very Good Knife Company is indeed very good. And he's been doing knives. He's been a career knife maker for 15 years. So pretty impressive. All right, last up, this is from TKell and TKell Knives. And yeah, started with one and I'm ending with one. This thing. What can I say? It's the Sapper. I've wanted the Sapper forever, ever since I first saw this knife. And ever since I interviewed Imri, Morgenstern, sorry, spaced his name for a minute, an IDF soldier that Tim collaborated on with this design. He does EOD stuff, digging up mines, explosive ordnance. Just what is that? Someone let me know what EOD stands for. Disposal. I think. But so this is a second generation of that knife. That knife originally had a line going from the point all the way down by the screws. So like the screws are all in line exactly with the point, and there was an actual line laser engraved in there so that when searching around for mines in the sand, you know exactly where your point is when the point is not visible, because you can follow the line of the line. He didn't put them on this run. He's not sure if he's going to put them on the next one. I think he might be rebranding this knife. I'm not sure. And by that, I mean calling it something different, making the Sapper the one with the line, because it's for people who do EOD. But then for guys like me who don't do EOD and just like having a cool, incredible recurve blade that's menacing and awesome in hand. And by the way, not just menacing, but I have it on good word from my buddy Diego that these things do great with vines and all sorts of outdoor vegetation. So that this will probably get that treatment, because this knife is too cool not to use, and certainly won't be using it for its original intent. So that is it. That is it. Only 19 knives. Only 19 knives. Well, some of them are 6 of them are being given away, and who knows? We might do a giveaway of a knife or two out of this list. Maybe. So be sure to join us on Thursday nights to see what happens, because we always do giveaways on Thursday Night Knives due to the generosity of my good buddy Dave of OG Bladeworks, who sends me tons of knives to give away. So my good fortune is your good fortune. All right, thanks for watching this trip down memory lane. Blade Show 2025, now in the history books, was so awesome. I had such a great time. And to everyone I saw there who knew me, thank you for introducing yourself. I had a great time meeting you. All right, for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying until next time, don't take dull for an answer.
Thanks for listening to the Knife Junkie podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and review at reviewthepodcast.com. For show notes for today's episode, additional resources, and to listen to past episodes, visit our website, TheKnifeJunkie.com. You can also watch our latest videos on YouTube at TheKnifeJunkie.com/YouTube.